Joe Biden's $3,600 stimulus payments. Let's discuss the details in this video. We also have massive news concerning unemployment and that unemployment boost and extension. Before we get into it, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I'd also like to thank my sponsor Webull. They've partnered with me to provide free stocks for my viewers, valued up to $3,700. It's completely free and takes 2 minutes. All you need to do is open an account using my link. The link is in the description of this video, just below the like button. Feel free to sell the stocks immediately to use the money if you'd like. Just make sure to open an account and then click on the green button that says Get Free Stocks. Let's jump right into it. This article by Forbes, credit to Howard Gleckman. Now, I don't usually read straight from an article, but I want to take a minute to just read over this one. Biden's plan would include, just to recap, that $1,400 per person stimulus check, including both child and adult dependents, as well as those on Social Security and those on Social Security disability as well. It will also increase the weekly unemployment boost to $400 per week through the end of September, as well as providing $25 billion for those on rental assistance. Biden's stimulus package also provides for 2 tax incentives, which will help to lift millions of people out of poverty and provide monthly payments for millions of Americans. Now, this is that $3,600 check that most people have been talking about. Now, this is via a child tax credit, which would be fully refundable through the end of 2021 and increase it to $3,000 per child and $3,600 per child who is under the age of 6. And Democrats are pushing for this to be paid out in monthly payments, similarly to the stimulus check. Now, the stimulus check was actually a tax credit as well, which was paid out in advance. This is a similar program that Joe Biden wants to include, which would boost that child tax credit, giving about half of American households a $300 per month boost throughout the year of 2021, which would add up to $3,600 for the entire year. Now, of course, if your child is over 6 years old, this would be lowered to $250 per month, bringing it to a total of $3,000 for the year of 2021. He also wants to include another tax break for those who do not have children to help them as well. This is called the Earned Income Tax Credit. He wants to increase the maximum benefit to $1,500. This would also raise the income limit to about $21,000 and allow more workers who are older to file the claim as well, essentially expanding it so more people would qualify and increasing the amount that you would get to $1,500 for those who do not have children. This is really good news and would provide thousands of dollars to millions of Americans throughout this pandemic. Not only that, Biden wants to take it a step further and help parents pay for childcare costs. It's very common knowledge that throughout this pandemic, childcare costs have gone through the roof as millions of kids are now doing school from home remotely, and that is increasing childcare. Either parents are staying home from work and losing that income, or they're forced to pay for babysitters. Now, Biden wants to expand the child and dependent care tax credit to cover half of child care costs, up to $4,000 for one child and $8,000 for 2 or more children, to a max of $8,000 for a year. Guys, that would be a massive benefit for those who have children. Now, I know half of you don't, but about half of households do have children. And this would apply for families making up to $125,000, and those who make above $125,000 would still qualify for some of this, just not the entire amount. Now, of course, Biden's package also includes $350 billion in money for state and local governments, plus another $170 billion to help schools reopen safely, $30 billion for the National Guard disaster relief efforts, and $20 billion for public trans, $20 billion specifically for tribal governments, and $20 billion to help support the vaccination distribution. With that said, it is well known that Biden's proposal is a very, very aggressive proposal, and this needs to be paid for by somebody. Now, Biden has said he plans to do this by taxing the rich. by increasing taxes on corporations, as well as increasing taxes on households that make $400,000 per year or more. Now, Biden has not yet outlined his tax plan. It looks like he first wants to pass the stimulus package, and then later on, he will give us more details on that as well. So we'll have to wait and see what he says regarding that tax plan. But more big news for those on unemployment. Biden, he wants to allow you to quit your job if it is unsafe due to the pandemic and still qualify not only for unemployment, but for that unemployment boost as well. Guys, this is really good news and would protect millions of Americans who are working in unsafe job environments, guys. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think of this, because currently, if you willfully quit your job, as far as the federal law is now, you do not qualify for unemployment. Now, generally, that seems to be a logical and good law, but throughout this pandemic, millions of Americans are working in unsafe job conditions, and Biden wants to give you the choice to be able to be safe and stay home and still collect unemployment. Biden himself said that the good American people should not have to decide between a paycheck and being alive. And I completely agree with that. In a normal time period, letting people quit their jobs and get unemployment generally does not make sense. But in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of a recession, when over 4,000 people are passing away every single day, I think it makes sense that people should not be forced to work in unsafe work environments, especially those who are high risk, those who are elderly, those who already have pre-existing health conditions. These people should be able to stay home. But the fact is, the way things are set up now, they can't. They cannot afford to quit their job, so they're putting their lives at risk. But that is really good news, and Biden plans to include this in his massive stimulus package. But what's going on with that package? Why is it being delayed, and what is it going to take to get this done? Well, first of all, Trump's impeachment, and let me know in the comments whether or not you think Trump deserves to be impeached. But regardless, this impeachment is going to slow down stimulus. I want to make that clear. So in my opinion, and Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell have said this as well, that the impeachment should be postponed until after a stimulus package is approved. Now, Biden and Mitch McConnell are on the same page. They do not want this impeachment to slow down stimulus. However, Chuck Schumer has just announced that the Senate trial for the impeachment will begin February 8th. Now, with that said, Pelosi is expected to approve the stimulus package in the House on February 1st. This would give the Senate 1 week to approve that stimulus package before that trial begins. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but most likely the Trump impeachment trial is going to slow down the approval of the stimulus package. Now quickly, let's take a look and see what Chuck Schumer had to say regarding that Senate impeachment trial.
We have made good progress in our efforts to determine the timing and structure of the impeachment trial of Donald J. Trump. For the information of all senators, the House managers will come to read the article of impeachment at 7 p.m. on Monday, January 25th. Members will then be sworn in the next day, Tuesday, January 26th. After that, both the House managers and the defense will have a period of time to draft their legal briefs, just as they did in previous trials. During that period, the Senate will continue to do other business for the American people, such as cabinet nominations and the COVID relief bill, which would provide relief for millions of Americans who are suffering during this pandemic. Then, once the briefs are drafted, presentation by the parties will commence the week of February the 8th. The January 6th insurrection at the Capitol, incited by Donald J. Trump, was a day none of us will ever forget. We all want to put this awful chapter in our nation's history behind us. But healing and unity will only come if there is truth and accountability. And that is what this trial will provide.
Okay, so obviously Pelosi and Schumer are dead set on impeaching Donald Trump. And again, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and let me know your thoughts regarding what Chuck Schumer said. Now, Biden is determined to get this stimulus deal done in conjunction with this impeachment trial. He is urging the Senate to go ahead and split their time in half, work half time on the impeachment and half time on the stimulus package. And Chuck Schumer is saying they could do it. But I'm going to be honest with you. This impeachment trial will slow down stimulus. Now, with that said, what exactly is going to happen with this impeachment? Will Democrats get enough Republicans on board to actually impeach Trump? Or is this just another example of political theater by Democrats? Well, bottom line here, Democrats would need about 17 Republicans to vote yes to have him impeached. And you know what? There are some reports that McConnell has privately said that he wants to have Trump impeached. And there is a small group of Republicans. It's reported that about 5 or 6 Republicans are quietly pushing McConnell to have him convicted. So it's been well documented, guys. Mitch McConnell is not happy with Trump. And these reports do seem to have some ground. So let's assume these reports are correct. At that point, we'd have Mitch McConnell on board, plus another 5 or 6 Republicans, putting them at about 7 Republicans. That's a little less than half of what they need to actually have Trump impeached. And again, to recap, although Trump is already out of office, impeaching him would allow them to then further bar Trump from ever running for office again. So this impeachment does have a lot of implications. Now, in my opinion, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Democrats will get enough Republicans on board to actually get this done. And therefore, I mainly am frustrated with the situation because my main priority is stimulus. Millions of people are out there struggling and we need nothing. We don't need a single thing getting in the way of having this stimulus package approved. And Democrats are close to a filibuster elimination. I've talked about this in my video before. Democrats need 51 votes to eliminate the filibuster, which means Republicans would not be able to block any stimulus package at all for the next 2 years. And all Democrats need is all 50 Democratic senators to vote for this. Now, it's already been reported that at least 3 Democrats would vote against this. However, experts think that if Republicans continue to filibuster a stimulus, that all Democrats would then be willing to break the filibuster and vote to eliminate it, therefore paving the way for massive, massive stimulus for the next 2 years. And just to recap, Republicans can filibuster, but they cannot fully block the stimulus. We will have this stimulus eventually, but a filibuster would slow that down. Guys, but with that said, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I will keep you posted daily on that massive stimulus package, stimulus for those on Social Security, the unemployment boost, as well as what's happening with news that may or may not slow down or speed up that stimulus package. And thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far into my video, thank you so much for supporting my channel. It truly means the world to me, and I truly appreciate every single view. And guys, thanks again for watching and have a great day.